Capricorn, you guys will have the North Node entering Pisces in your third house, which emphasizes communication, local communities, short trips, and everyday environments. With the North Node transiting your third house, your real estate investments, if you're invested in real estate, might focus more on local markets and properties that cater to neighborhood or community needs rather than distant or large scale investments. So, if you're thinking about commercial real estate or foreign investments, the wave for you might be more local, local rental properties, co-working spaces, small commercial units. How can we serve the local community? Whether it's short-term rentals too, or more multifamily homes, or educational properties, student housing. I have a client who does really well with student housing as an example. So one building that has 50 units or a bunch of dorms, or big multifamily properties or business hubs that cater to freelancers or businesses in your area, things that can be rented, rent to borrow, those types of community oriented developments, projects that revitalize neighborhoods, gardening, eco-friendly food. Supporting the economic growth of your town or the city is a great place to focus for Capricorns. In some cases, looking at how property or investments from family wealth can be reinvested, reassessing existing properties or anything that is located that's way too far from you, or assets or things that you own that no longer serve you, getting rid of these things, properties, possessions, or assets, and reinvesting them in things that are more lucrative or more liquid, aligned with more local markets or things that support you locally, could help you focus on more sustainable community-based projects that may be of an interest to you. Then investing in digital and communication spaces can be good for you, whether that's upgrading the communication and tech in your home, your school, investments related to digital, co-working spaces, tech-related hubs, properties, digital real estate, remote work. All these things are becoming the norm in the future. So putting investment funds into such areas or projects can be lucrative for the long term, particularly investments tied to transportation and logistics, small warehouses, parking lots, properties near train stations, airports. All of this is related to the third house's rulership over short distance travel and transportation and infrastructure. So companies related to that, maybe working for your local airport, or all those types of infrastructure related businesses are related to your local environment. Transportation, logistics, shipping, drones, very Uranus and Gemini, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But it's a good year to consider reallocating your resources into the things that are community driven. And kind of, if you are in the property space, can we get away from the larger properties and look at smaller, high demand markets that cater to more short term rentals, local business needs, business to business needs, or even digital workspaces that can offer more steady returns as the energy throughout the world becomes more Geminian for longer periods of time. Neptune's going to join the North Node here. And so any projects, particularly compassionate or green energy or community-based projects related to local infrastructure or eco-friendly spaces with Neptune's influence, can be a focus here, but we don't want to over-idealize them or assume that they'll be super lucrative. And we don't want to jump into these without any proper research. So if we're looking to invest into sustainable local developments, conduct thorough research to make sure you're not overestimating. Mars is going to move forward towards the end of February in your seventh house in Cancer. So this is opposing you. Mars opposing you is an interesting energy in Vedic astrology. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. This house covers partnerships, open enemies, contracts, one-on-one relationships, business collaborations, legal agreements. With Mars going direct here, this is a good time to address any shared financial commitments, maybe bringing some of them to an end, and in some cases, renegotiating terms and partnerships, particularly if they involve any loans or joint obligations. So refinancing looks good here if you or a spouse or a business partner have existing loans or mortgages. This might be a good time to renegotiate them. You might be able to lower rates or get a better deal or better terms on whatever that business partnership might be, or whatever the contracts are that need reevaluated. And look out for favorable terms. Strengthening financial security in joint ventures can be really good for this energy. What we need to be careful about is Mars's influences in Cancer. So this can add an emotional dimension, and this emotional dimension might be opposing you, emphasizing security and home-based concerns. So if you're involved in real estate or other property deals, improving financial stability here through renegotiating contracts can be really key. Looking at securing the most favorable terms that you can is going to be important in reducing the financial burden on both parties. Consolidating debts can be really good under this energy as well. Now we see a full moon in Virgo in the ninth. The ninth rules higher education, travel, law, foreign places, purpose, meaning, and our relationship to a higher power. So, a promotion or opportunity in the health sector can come from international educational connections. We might be spending money on higher education. We might be thinking about expanding our expertise through skills and through learning something, getting certifications that help increase how much we can earn in the marketplace. So, seeking out leadership roles or promotions that involve travel, education, or international healthcare organizations can really lead to increased financial stability for many of you. Venus retrograding in the fourth talks about reevaluating creative investments related to home and family. Then we have a new moon solar eclipse here in the fourth, which signifies new beginnings in the home and family sector. So that can be a good time to launch a new family related business or working from home, particularly if it's been planned carefully. You want to focus on creative but calculated investments, such as starting investing in a real estate business tied to family or local markets, or working on things related to businesses related to real estate like plumbing, roofing, siding, lawn mowing, so on and so forth. Just planning thoroughly for such situations. Neptune in Aries talks about community housing or home-based creative projects that can go well, crowdfunding initiatives, or finding different ways to raise money for things related to the home, particularly projects that are realistic and transparent will do well so that we avoid any potential disappointment. Saturn in Aries, then in the fourth, talks about bringing discipline to financial related matters related to the family and the home. So, this can be a good time to set up long term investments for children or for family members, aging parents, or just the starting education funds for them or investing in a family owned business. So this is slow and steady growth here, so we want to be patient here and trust that in the 3 years of us putting in work that Saturn will bring us rewards in due time. Then we have Jupiter moving into Cancer in the seventh house. Jupiter in the seventh house of the other means that partnerships are where the money is at. Partnerships are where the luck is at, where the wisdom and the blessing can come from. So Jupiter in the seventh can expand joint financial ventures. You don't have to do it alone this time around. Capricorn, this can be a good time for shared financial projects with others. Partnerships or marriage-related finances could see some growth from the middle of June in 2025 through the middle of 2026. So estate planning, joint investments with a spouse, signing contracts that involve shared resources, or business allied partnerships can be very lucrative. You want to go for those starting in the middle of 2025. Then in July, Uranus will conjoin Gemini in your sixth house, which talks about daily work, health, and routines. Uranus and Gemini could bring innovative changes in these sectors, offering financial opportunities through technology investments, especially related to health, tech, or workplace improvements. So if these, like, how ChatGPT or AI is looking to improve efficiency in work, if there's any tech that offers that kind of advantage in work or in the health sector, you want to go for it. Investments in health, tech, or automation can really lead to long-term financial benefits, especially if they're aligned with your day-to-day operations. Okay, and so these are things that we can look at and private one-on-one sessions in your chart. But I would say, it's a year where your finances are heavily influenced by joint ventures, real estate, and potentially some creative family projects. You want to be cautious with speculative ventures during the Venus retrograde, but really take advantage of the positive financial potential that's coming through in long-term planning, particularly around shared resources and local investments. There's also some benefit in investing in technological and health-related investments. If you're curious about which stocks or sectors I recommend, you can check out my 2025 yearly report, which dives into which ones that I'm looking at and why, based on the financial astrology and the fundamentals behind them. And so, such technological and health related investments, they can offer some innovation driven growth for some of you Capricorns. And you've had now Pluto spending so much time in your sign. Now it's moved into Aquarius in your second house. So that's really going to power up and transform the wealth story there for you guys over the next 20 years. And so something might need to be let go and changed in terms of how you view the way you earn money in order to really clear the way for that blessing to come through. But that's really also bringing some more tech into how you earn. That's what Pluto is going to want to do and reveal what's hidden from you from your health and body as well. All right, so look into those things, and some profitability and lucrative changes and blessing is likely to come your way. Good luck to you. Be well. One love to you, and peace.
And whenever I do the research, for Sama, and when we do it together, I go back and do the research 10 years back. So it is a lot of work behind. The way I wrote, and actually I'm not going to talk about each individual sign. Sama, you're going to actually summarize that for them right now in this video. But I wrote about 45 pages for each individual sign. The best is to purchase that for your rising sign, but actually you can purchase it all and give it to your friends as well if you would like to. But the other thing is, I would recommend that to purchase it for your rising, after your sun sign, and after your moon sign. So, on the other hand, what I really wanted to say over here, you already talked about the career, and but this is really finance based. It is, guys, I went really deep into to giving you opportunity to watch out for market and which companies to watch for, which companies to invest in, and I checked it each of them individually. So a lot of sweat and blood went into this.